Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open Mic America. We're so excited to see you all tonight. We've got some wonderful performers tonight, and I know that all of you out there in YouTube land are going to have a good show tonight. My name is Laura Peel Bordowitz. I will be your MC tonight, and we have our wonderful interviewer, Mike Simpson. One second, I've got a little bit of a delay happening here. There we go. Always fun with the technical difficulties and the excitement of being online and being able to see all of these wonderful singer-songwriters in their own home. Because if you've been to an open mic performance in your local area, you know that normally you're in the same room with someone and you get to hear the people bringing you their songs and showing you them. But tonight, thanks to technology, we will be traveling all around the country to see the performers in their very own living rooms. Because here at Open Mic America, our mission is to support your local open mics. And so tonight, you get to see just a smattering of some performers from all throughout the country. Without gimmicks or frills, this is the DNA of American music, that tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. As I said, my name is Laura. I will be the MC tonight. Mike Simpson will be our interviewer. And of course, we have our founder and engineer for this show, Capo Dave Williams. And now it's time to introduce the performers for tonight. You can find links to all of their pages and music in both the description of this video and on our website. But tonight you are going to hear from Jason Baker, Tim Young, Gillis Mills, Rich Fassler, the Elder Singer, aka Steve Anderson, Cowboy Bob Uvello, Cap Wilhelm Safion, and Ann Sandstrom. So I think without further ado, it is time to get the show started with some music. Our first performer is coming to you from Burlington, Vermont, Jason Baker, whose favorite local open mic is The Nest in Essex Junction, Vermont. And that plays on the second and fourth Wednesdays, but tonight he is here for you. So Jason, take it away.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being here again. It's been a little while. I'm going to change to gallery view because I find that disconcerting to see myself so large. Last time I was here, it's funny, I played songs that were inspired by a person who had recently passed away. That was Jill Sobel. In between these times since I've been here, and of course another wonderful person has passed, and we're very sad. Joe Hickerson passed away a few months ago, and he was a very big influence on a lot of folk singers like myself. And he was a major influence in the folk community. He is one of the co-writers of Where Have All the Flowers Gone? He's involved in the early recordings of Kumbaya, real recordings of it, as it were, from the Gullah culture. He was a historian and song collector at the Smithsonian. He was the senior collector there for many years. Anyway, but he also released folk albums of his own. So I was going to do a heritage song to start us off with, and this is a song I learned from a Joe Hickerson album, and dedicated to Joe. And I've never heard this version anywhere else. So this is Joe Hickerson's version of Casey Jones. Early in the morning when it looks like rain, round the bend come a gravel train. On that train was Casey Jones. He was a good old rounder, but he's dead and gone. Lord, he's dead and gone. Lord, he's dead and gone. He was a good old rounder, but he's dead and gone. Now Casey Jones was a good engineer, told his firemen you never fear. Pour that water on and shovel that coal. Stick your head out the window, see them drivers roll. See them drivers roll. See them drivers roll. Stick your head out the window, see them drivers roll. They go. Casey looked ahead, what did he see? Round the bend come the 818. Told his fireman, you better jump, 'cause these two locomotives, they're bound to bump. They're bound to bump. Yeah, they're about to bump. Why, these two locomotives, they're bound to bump. Should have been there for to see the sight, jumping and yelling, both black or white. Some were killed and some were maimed, but that six-wheel driver had to bear the blame. He had to bear the blame. He had to bear the blame. Yeah, that six-wheel driver had to bear the blame. Now Casey Jones said before he died, just two trains I never did ride. The boy said, Casey, what can they be? It's the Southern Pacific or the Santa Fe, or the Santa Fe, or the Santa Fe. Yeah, the Southern Pacific or the Santa Fe. Now Casey Jones said before he died, just two drinks that I've never tried. Boy said, Casey, what can they be? A glass of water or a cup of tea, or a cup of tea, or a cup of tea. Yeah, it's a glass of water or a cup of tea. Now early in the morning when it looks like rain, round the bend come a gravel train. On that train was a Casey Jones. He was a good all-rounder, but he's dead and gone. Lord, he's dead and gone. Yes, he's dead and gone. Yeah, he was a good all-rounder, but he's dead and gone.
Great way to kick off the night.
And I'm going to be just, the reason I'm showing that off, as it were, is I've been working on them, on songs that I learned from Joe, and figuring out how to do them on the long neck banjo and do a good job. He was a fantastic guitar player, and I want to make a little EP of recordings of his, but I don't want to like take on, like, I recreated this recording that Joe Hickerson did perfectly 50 years ago. That's not gonna, so I'm gonna do my own. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing some more of that. I was gonna do another one of those, but I decided, hearing you guys talk about, the protests this weekend and stuff, and things that you were talking about, reminded me I have a song out that I don't think I've played here yet. I hope you like it. It's fairly simple, and you can sing along by just shouting back at me over the Zoom if you want. Don't unmute, but just shout in your own room. As long as no one's gonna freak out when you scream the word revolution. This is called Revolution is Irresistible. Choose between a life and a livelihood, between paying rent or buying food. News says the rich folks are still doing good. Revolution becomes irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Given no real choice to choose, and you've nothing left to lose. Seems like the whole world has got the blues. Revolution is irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Now when their control seems complete, feels impossible to beat, bring the people to the street. Revolution becomes irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Revolution, revolution, revolution is irresistible. Yeah. Well, I rolled and I tumbled and I cried the whole night long.
Got me dancing in my seat. I could imagine hearing that during the protests this past weekend. That was great.
Can't resist.
All right, Mike, he's all yours.
Okay. Jason, good to see you again, man. So, that Heritage song, would you give me Joe's last name again? I know who you mean, but I can't remember.
Hickerson.
Dickerson?
Yeah, Hickerson from...
Hickerson. Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Hickerson.
Okay.
From,
All right. Yeah, so, how do you know him?
Zoom.
Zoom?
So
yeah.
during the pandemic, started attending various Zoom things like this one, and various sing-arounds that folk societies are doing across the country, because it's something to do and it was a good way to connect with people. And on the Portland Music Society one, I'm pretty sure it was the Portland one, one Saturday, he was a regular there Saturday nights. And so it's funny because I just joined this thing, and there was this guy, and he told some great stories, and then I just really didn't click at first. I didn't really know, like, the name. I didn't know his name, and in particular about who he was. But he was, in fact, worked at the Smithsonian, worked as a song collector and a librarian there for many years. He was a true song historian, and he just had all the greatest songs. That's all I knew, was this guy had really great songs and great stories. And I ended up, when I finally figured out who it was, like that I'm hanging out with this guy, I said, hey, let's do an interview. We did an interview for the folk talk radio show I do with Rick Polari. And so we did a show, and so we got really a definitive interview with him, a good hour of him talking and singing. And one of the funny things is he said that he had been the pandemic was like a blessing for him in his last few years of his life there, because he was singing more than ever in the last couple of years, all over the place. There was much more singing going on in his life, because it had fallen out of his life for a while, I think, because as you get older, it gets harder to get out and do stuff. Anyway, his albums were just filled with classic, interesting arrangements of things. And and so there's this wealth of material there, and a lot of people know his know versions of his stuff, but sometimes they don't know, like that version of Casey Jones. I don't think I've heard that particular one.
So now, did he use slide when he played banjo?
Oh no! So the second song had slide banjo, and Joe probably, Joe was probably a straight up a clawhammer player, if I recall.
As I remember,
really a massive guitar player is what he was. He was
right.
If you listen to his albums, he's just it's hard it's subtle stuff, but it's actually it's all he's playing all these melodies very low in the in the register and everything, and he's just really that it's a very a certain style that he was
an aficionado, certainly, along with a friend of mine, Carol McComb, of the Carter family stuff with the melody and the lower strings. Yeah,
absolutely, yes. But he was applying it to very unusual, to child ballads and things. So it was very fascinating stuff. There's like I say, I would encourage anybody who don't know, just because it's the same to have someone pass and people not recognize the brilliance of this person, look up Joe Hickerson and listen to anything he recorded, and you'll find some treasure somewhere in there. There's so many. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I'm trying. It's actually trying to learn just 4 songs was a big challenge.
Yeah, very cool. So, what, besides what you've already said, drove you to select that second song?
Oh, the second song is not a Joe Hickerson song, just so you know. That's an original.
Right, I know that, but I'm saying
Okay, yeah. So
you chose to play it today. And...
well, you know what? Last time it's been released since last time I was here, and so I realized I hadn't played it here, and it's just it's topical. It's a topical song, and this weekend it just became more and more topical. It's just
right.
I felt a certain. I went to the rally in Montpelier here yesterday, and there was some element of people are ready for go a little further than just pushing back at on a legal level and stuff like that. People really want some systemic change, and there's a lot of talk about in the speeches about how we all. There's a lot of people talked about this weekend, I guess, in general, going back to the way things were. With the pandemic, we were always like, well, we're never going to go back to the way things were, but then we started to kind of go back to the way things were. Right. And so now we're at a point where, honestly, no, the country's not going to go back to the way things were now. This is what's happening is dangerous, and I think people are. I think I was that phrase, making revolution irresistible, was a phrase, and I'm like, it's already irresistible to me. And then I was like, oh, I can write a song like that, and that's kind of where that song came from. That's where that already irresistible to me. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
But I think I've worn that sort of, on my sleeve for a while now.
Well, hopefully we can do it without some of the concomitant violent effects that revolution often has. But
many of the best revolutions were not violent, right? So
not all of them. Not all of them have been. No, Gandhi's wasn't.
Right. Plenty of successful revolutions that were not endlessly violent or violent at all. So.
All right. Well, Jason, thank you very much for the music. It's good to see you again. I hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you.
And I'm going to turn it back over to our erstwhile and wondrous Laura Fordowitz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Jason. Those were some great songs to kick off the show. And we're just going to keep on rolling with even more great songs. And we are now moving to Glendale, Arizona, to hear from the one and only Tim Young.
Hello. Everybody hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tim, yeah.
It says the message unmute. Okay, well, I guess I'm unmuted. All right. Okay, kind of keeping in spirit with, I guess this could be considered a protest song. It's called Divided We Cannot Stand. And the title is self-explanatory, so probably don't need to go in too much into detail. This is kind of an older song for me now. I actually wrote it about 4 years ago, after the Capitol insurrection. So here it is. Like a ship on the raging sea, have we lost our destiny? Round and round we go again. And it's the same old song, everyone's right and no one's wrong, until the very end. Divided, we cannot stand. Divided, we are not free. Divided, we have no plan. What is happening to you and to me? like a fast train going nowhere. Do we still care? And in the end, what will we show? Are we lost forever, never to return? Because we can't work together. When will we ever learn? Divided, we cannot stand. Divided, we are not free. Divided, we have no plan. What is happening to you and to me? Like a ship on the raging sea, have we lost our destiny? Round and round we go again.
Ah, good song.
Woo-hoo!
Good song.
Love it.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory. I think you know what the song is going to be about from the title. And, you know, we have our No Kings protest going on here out in Arizona, in Phoenix. And for me, you know, the immigration is, you know, very important. And but there's also other things, you know, that we don't want to forget about. Because I work with an autistic kid and his family, and they all need Medicaid. You know, my job is contracted by Medicaid, and we're already seeing some cuts. You know, they pay the parents a certain amount of money because, you know, the parents, they cannot go to work. You know, they have a full-time responsibility at home. Maybe one of them can go to work, but the other one can't. And they're trying to cut those hours. So that's important. That's one of the first signs that they're trying to cut Medicaid here in Arizona. So, and we got other things down the road, you know, that we got to think about too. I don't think it's going to get better. So we're also protesting that stuff too. And I'll move on. That was a song I wrote about 4 years ago. This is a somewhat newer song that I wrote within the past year. And it's called Hello to the New Year. You know, and I'm just, no, it's not. Actually, I changed the title of the song. It's called A Light to Guide You. That's the song. And, you know, we get to that time, we hope the new year is going to be better. I think most of us are hoping for that. A light to guide you. Well, hello to the new year. What will you do? Will you throw out the old and welcome in the new? Will you ever let go of the things that won't hold you? Will you turn that ship around and sail to someplace new? May you find peace and joy and be spared pain and sorrow. May you raise your glass high and sing a song for tomorrow. May love and laughter fill your days. May there be a light to guide you through the storm. bring to you with the lies and deception surrounding you. Can you believe you can find something true? A brand new direction for me and for you. May you find peace and joy and be spared pain and sorrow. May you raise your glass high and sing the song for tomorrow. May love and laughter fill your days. May there be a light to guide you through the storm and its waves. May love and laughter fill your days. May there be a light to guide you through the storm and its waves. Through the storm and its waves. That's it.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, it'd be sad. We can only do 2 songs per person. We'd be here all night. All right, Mike. He's all yours.
Okay.
Tim Young, I don't think I've interviewed you before, but you've been here at least a couple of times previously, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I am going to ask a question that I have always wanted to ask somebody, and I'm choosing you.
Okay.
How do you go about choosing what to play on OMA?
What is that?
What drives your song selection for Open Mic America?
Oh, I played a couple of quieter songs tonight. I like to play a variety of music. I'm mainly a folk musician. You know, I play a lot of. I can play a little bit with a pick. You know, but for the most part, I play with the finger style guitar. You know, in the folk style. And I like a variety of music, but you know, I think all of it really falls under the folk umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I play a little bit of bluegrass, a little bit some acoustic blues. I like to step up the rhythm a little bit, and sometimes I play some folk rock.
Right.
Today I kind of kept it, you know, just kind of slower finger style guitar. You know, I may do something different the next time.
Okay. Anything you'd like to bring up about the writing of the first one?
The writing of the first one. You know, I was, it happened not long after the Capitol insurrection. And I like to hike. And I went on a hike, on a local hike around here at Thunderbird Conservation, which is in Glendale. And we're not at a loss for mountains around here. You know, and hiking trails, and there's some really, really good ones. And I hiked up to the top of Thunderbird Conservation, and somebody had placed this memorial there with flags surrounding it, and it was a tribute to Martin Luther King. And I'm going to put a challenge to myself. You know, I got to remember the exact quote now. It was about driving out, keeping darkness, driving only hope can shed a light, you know, for keeping the darkness out of ourselves. And that's what the quote was about. But I actually want to take the time and look up that exact quote, but it inspired this song. It inspired it.
Yeah. And the second song, where the main idea from the hook for that one come from?
The main idea came from, the sort of the same idea in mind, because
right.
I think, we're all, a lot of us are going to be starting the new year looking for some kind of a new hope, because of all this crazy stuff we got going on in the world. And I just kind of hope that there could be a light to guide you, a light to guide us.
Yeah. So, I'm going to say, not to drag too much of me into the interview, but I always sort of take as a given that I'm going to do two songs, and hopefully they're going to be kind of separated in terms of style, and they're going to be different, and that kind of thing between them. But hearing you play those two, which were pretty close, but they were very effective together, I think I may back off of that a little bit. What do you think?
What's that?
What do you think about having songs that are, fairly close in sound and theme?
Well, I think that when I play in front of people, I'm going to try to present a variety of songs. I may play 3 or 4 songs together that are somewhat similar, and then I'll change it up a little bit.
Right.
And then go back to playing what I started with. And kind of do it that way, I think. I'm gonna post. I have a picture of the Martin Luther King quote, and I'm gonna post that in the chat so people can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I noticed that we didn't get a listing from you for what open mics you play at virtually and stuff like that. Would you like to tell us about where we could hear you play now?
There's one that I like to go to now. It's at the Tempe Center for the Arts, and it's a little bit of a drive for me to get there from where I am in Glendale, but it's about maybe 40 minutes. But they do this on a Wednesday night in Tempe, the Tempe Center for the Arts. If people are around here and they want to go, you got like a 4:30 sign up, and I think they start at 5 o'clock. They're pretty easy to look up. Tempe Center for the Arts open mic.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tim, thank you very much, and good luck. Keep writing, and we'll see you up here again, I'm sure.
Yeah, good. I look forward to it.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to post that photo.
All right. All yours, Laura.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tim.
you.
I'll see what I can do in terms of relaying quotes and photos to the YouTube people, but we'll see. Otherwise, I guess you might have to check out what he was talking about on our website. We'll see if we put it there. But for now, we're going to go on to our third performer of the evening, and we are going to Grafton, Vermont to hear from Gillis Mills. Gillis, the stage is yours.
Gillis, I believe you're still muted. Gillis? Gillis Mills?
They're very similar, Mike. Hope you don't mind. This first one is called My Friend. Do you love her each and every morning? Do you shower with her neath that tallow tree? When you look into her eyes, do you feel better? Then you, my friend, are fortunate indeed. Yes, you, my friend, are fortunate indeed. This old world ain't half bad now that I know her. In fact, I gotta say it's gotten good. It ain't what I am, it's how I'm feeling. My friend, I'd give you this if I could. My friend, I'd give you this if I could. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It don't matter 1 iota where we going. It don't matter 1 iota what we do. All that matters to me now is being near her. My friend, I hope you've got a true love too. My friend, I hope you've got a true love too. My friend, I hope you've got a true love too. My friend, I hope you've got a true love too.
Oh, yeah.
So this next little song is called "The Way It's the Way It's Supposed to Be." There's a moss-covered trail to the river. Reserved for the wild things in me. It's a long, long way from the city, the way it's supposed to be. Well, you may live in a penthouse above the noise and concrete. Me, I'm way up in the mountain. It's the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be. Mama Moose is crossing the meadow. Wild blackbirds sing praising pine tree. And there's a beauty and balance to everything here. It's the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be. There you go.
Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Oh, I was really getting into the groove of those two songs. Very fun. All right, Mike. Get him.
Get it. All right, here we go. I'm getting it. Just like Gillis Mills just got it. Hey, you commented about, the idea of not, I try not to do things that are too close and similar. That's just me in the first place. And it was intended to be set up a compliment to the player that he had done things that were close but worked very well together. And I'm going to turn that same compliment over to you. First off, doing things that are close together when they're both from a genre that's as complete, rich, and wonderful as the blues, you, you're going to tend to play things in about three different keys in the blues. They don't do a lot of stuff in A flat minor. And I think that doing what you did there, which is two songs, and I didn't actually find those two that close or similar, frankly. So I just want to make sure I'm not offending anybody and that I'm not suppressing anybody's desire what they want to play. That was, like I said, I apologize for making it about me.
Mike, I was teasing you, by the way.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad
you can hear me. Okay. Yeah, I was teasing you because I thought what I do, and I'll try to make it quick. When I do a thing here on Open Mic America, I vary it from time to time. I'll do things that I call them aggressive songs. Usually I use a solid body, an electric guitar and play and sing my more aggressive songs. And then I do, with my acoustic, I do quite what I call passive songs. These in my opinion are passive songs. And they're to me, coming from where I come from, they're very, very similar, and they're very soft. But I was only teasing you. I wasn't making a serious comment.
Good. I just want to make sure I hadn't
Not at all. No. I enjoy hearing. I always look forward to and kind of quiet, secretly hopeful that I hear you. And what your comments are.
Well, thank you.
I like them.
Now let's talk about this thing. When you're dealing with this enormous body of work that the blues represent, those are both your songs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
and they both grow out of what life experiences,
Right. So you're taking your stuff, but then you're strapping on the blues boots, and you're going into this well-traveled land. What do you do? How do you approach it to do what you just successfully did, which is make two songs that are very individual each and recognizable as the blues, but at the same time, your stuff has a very definite Mills feel to it, So what is it that you're doing that's causing me to feel that way?
It's very simple to talk about, but it's not easy to do, because I'm like the difference between in this is all subjective, of course, but what I do and what I enjoy doing, the challenge that I enjoy, is I'm not on a paved highway with regarding the blues. I don't do blues the way that they are typically done. I do what comes out of me, and it's easy to talk about, but it's very difficult to do, because I'm drawing from myself, and I feel the blues. I'm not like, oh, this is like John Lee Hooker. This will be a great Hooker. First of all, I can't do that. I wouldn't even try. Or Lightning Hopkins, or any of the people that someone might think of as really incredibly talented, which they were, and many, many, many others, in all kinds of music, of course. But I don't try to emulate anybody, but I try. What I try to do is, and I've said this almost every time I've been on here, I just try to render my songs in ways that are obedient to themselves, to their own ideas.
Would it be fair to say that you're looking for the internal logic of the song itself?
And internal is too. It's more like the basic idea of the song, and that's the words. Whatever my friend. I'd rather look at the other song because it's a little more out of focus. It's really about, believe it or not, to me, it's about we have the freedom to do whatever we want to do, to be wherever we want to be.
Right.
I spent most of my life in city. I'm a city guy, but now for the last 20 years I've been up here, retired here in Vermont, up in the mountains, away from the cities, which it's really great to have to have had both. I
Right.
really, I loved. I would the decades that I spent in New York City working and living there, I wouldn't trade for anything. They were so rich with music and art, and so and just the energy. It was great, and the competition and all of that. It was just great. But what I like now is I refer to that Mama Moose as crossing the meadow about blackbirds saying that's Vermont. I've only written 2 songs about Vermont. That's one of them. But it's really about the freedom to we can go wherever we want if we're willing to pay for it. I mean, it's not easy uprooting. I uprooted from Texas originally, and I came to New York to compete. And that wasn't easy living. I didn't realize how much I was giving up to come to the challenge. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you. That's good insights. And at one point, I was talking about your music with one of the other staff members, who's also an interviewer, and they were saying, we were talking about people who played stuff, and he was talking about, he said, I like people who play stuff that's simple, and he talked about a couple of people, including you, and I said, okay, I can't buy that. There's nothing simple about Gillis Mills' music. Direct, I'll buy. To the point, I'll buy. But your lyrics, there ain't nothing simple about them. Yeah, no, I love your stuff, man.
They're simple, but they're not easy for me. I can't speak for anyone else, But in my these songs are simple. These 2 particularly are simple musically, but they needed to be the way they are. I spent a lot of time figuring out. It kept getting rid of stuff. They're really stripped down. None of my songs are more stripped down than these 2.
Right. Well,
anyway,
good stuff. Hey, so lyrics, music. Chords, melody, chords. Do you have a fairly constant order in which those develop while you're writing?
Not, unfortunately, I'm really limited. I'm hyper limited. I'm about to embark on a couple of songs that are going to really stretch me guitar wise, because I've never been able to do what I'm going to attempt to do with these, and I'm going to have to teach myself how to do it, do what I want to do. I'm not going to go into it, and I got a great new amp too, that I've never purchased an amp in my life. They've been given to me. I have 4 amps. Actually, I bought the subwoofer, but the 3 guitar amps that I have were all given to me, and they're good. They're British tube amps. They're really great vintage amps. But this one I bought, and it's an American amp. It's a Fender, but it's and I can't wait. It's still out in the barn waiting for me to uncrate it and bring it into my studio here and set it up and wade into these waters, because it's going to be wild, because I haven't stretched myself out musically in a long time.
Yeah, and moving from the vintage to the Fender Blackface is
it's a Blackface.
It's a big move. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look forward to hearing that sometime.
I look forward to it too.
Well, yeah. See you again soon, man. I hope.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Laura.
Thank you so much, Gillis. We've been having some great songs this evening, and we're going to keep on going because we've got another performer who you might be familiar with here on Open Mic America. He's sometimes on one side of the mic, sometimes he's on the other behind the scenes. It's from Bainbridge Island, Washington, our very own Rich Fassler.
Well, thank
who
you.
Plays in person at the Fletcher Bay Winery Open Mic on Bainbridge Island, and also virtually, of course, here at Open Mic America and at the Music Matters Showcase. And he's also in 2 local area bands, which have wonderful animal names, which I'm a big fan of, the Harmony Wombats and a brand new band, the Melody Meerkats. But Mike, I guess, Rich, you're by yourself tonight, so it's all you.
Thank you so much. So here I am up here on Bainbridge Island, Washington. If you've never been here, it's a wonderful place. Beautiful summers, and winters are kind of gray and dark. And so I don't really have any protest songs, but maybe this is a protest song because I wrote this after my second winter up here. We moved up here from California. My wife wanted to move here, and so I wrote this song. And it starts out kind of dark, but it's like a Hallmark movie. It has a happy ending. So here it is. It's called Another Gray Day. Well, it's another great day on the island of Bainbridge. Yeah, a cold, wet day on Puget Sound. Would it be too much to ask for a little bit of sunshine to warm my body before the sun goes down? Well, in 2019, I was living in Cali. Yeah, a nice little house on a warm, sunny street. But then the wife said, man, we are moving from the valley. Hell, there's too many people and I can't stand the heat. So we loaded up the truck but didn't move to Beverly. Nah, we headed up north towards the Salish Sea. Are we there yet, I asked. She said, quit that whining. We aren't stopping this car till we get to the island. Well, it's another great day on the island of Bainbridge. Yeah, another moist day on the Puget Sound. Would it be too much to ask for a little bit of sunshine, just a little bit, to warm my body before the sun goes down? Well, 2 years I'm mourning, my wife said, bud, you gotta open your eyes, you're just a sticky in the mud. Yeah, the sun ain't shining, but there's so much to do. Just look around, man, if you're needing a clue. We got trails through the Grand Forest. We got walks around the shore. We got views of snow-capped mountains. That's an A minor, mountains. There. If that ain't enough, we got more. Restaurants, wineries, and breweries, and great musicians too. Cool stuff from local artists. I can't make that A minor tonight. There it is. There it is. And a free museum too. No kidding. The museum is free. So after thinking about it, my mind started spinning. Was it time to move on and embrace a new beginning? A little sunbreak appeared and I thought, could I be wrong? That's when I knew it was time that I write this song. And it goes something like this. So it's another great day on the island of Bainbridge. Yeah, it's another fine day on the Puget Sound. You don't need a lot of sun to have a whole bunch of fun. 'Cause there's so much to like about this little island town. It's another great day, another great day. It's another great day, it's another great day. It's another great day on the island of Bainbridge. Come on over and visit, take the ferry out of town. I had a problem with that A minor. I had a problem with that A minor chord. It just wouldn't. Yeah, so that's my Bainbridge Island song. Like I said, started out kind of sad, but had a happy ending. And now I'm going to plug in my dandy guitar. We'll learn more about dandies later. Here's a little song called When You're Feeling Blue. darker place where you fall from grace no matter what you do. Alone, you try to sing a happy song, it always comes out wrong. Where's the world you knew? Sunny days turn into rain, feeling good turns into pain. Nothing here can heal a broken heart. Countless hours on the phone, texting words to the unknown. Where's the love you thought would never stop? When you're feeling blue, you wonder why it had to be brought on foolishly by someone without a clue. That love came on like a mystery, seemed it was meant to be, till the lies caught up to you. Thoughtless words won't break a bone, but they can turn your heart to stone, turn a mighty love into a void. Love is not a game to play, a gift to simply throw away, something treated like a simple toy. A friend, someone to help you mend, someone you can turn to, a soul always there for you, no matter what you do, until the very end. Meet me at the show tonight, we can talk until daylight, transfer all your pain over to me. Let me turn your rain to sun, let you know you're not alone, make this just become a memory when you're feeling blue.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right, Mike. He's all yours.
Mike, what are we going to talk about?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of things.
Okay, I know you do.
First off,
Yes, sir.
the first song. This is a song that, right on the face of it, has this construction that you talk about. Starts off sad, ends with a happy ending. I forget what you called it, a Hallmark.
Yeah, it's like a Hallmark movie.
I think that doesn't do the song enough credit. But anyway, so I gotta ask,
Yes.
lyrics first, right?
Is that true? Let me think. I wrote this, like I said, a few years ago. What came first was, what came first was the, well, it's another great day on the island of Bainbridge. It's
Right.
Another moist day on Puget Sound. That came first. And so then, I had to create the story, right? Which is, I was happy in California, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, those lyrics first, it came first. And then it kind of, kind of like a Randy Newman thing,
Right.
kind of a talking, singing kind of song.
Sure. A little bit of a talking blues kind of a feel to it, although it's not in a blues genre.
Right.
But yeah.
Correct.
All right. Second song, however, how did that one happen? Is that a personal experience tune, or?
I have very few personal experiences.
I know that's true of you. That's why I'm asking. Is it?
Yeah. So that one, it was the lick, that little ding, 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 ding that came first. And I said, oh, I really like that. It's really simple. So and so kind of the melody kind of came out, from that lick. Okay, where do I go now? And it actually started out, the words that I came up with first was, when I'm feeling blue. And so it's going to be all about me. And then I said, I don't have enough to write about. Let me just make a song up about someone who, is having a hard time with a relationship. And so that's how that came about.
Now, there's a subtext to what you just said, and that is, it's hard for happy people to write the blues. But I have
think so.
Found out over the years, both here and other places where I've talked with people, back in my DJing days, we used to have live people come in and play, and I found out that some of the best blues players were fundamentally extraordinarily happy people.
Is that strange?
Yeah. In fact, the person that really got me into the blues was a fairly famous guy named Reverend Gary Davis. And I used to go sit at his feet as a kid up in San Francisco, right outside the church that let him teach his little free for everybody blues classes. And the man was indefatigable. Nothing could put him down. Ain't no way. In fact, there's a song called "Ain't No Way." Why do you think that is? Is it a necessary objectivity or what?
What, that you have to be?
Don't have to be, but so many happy people write blues songs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, anybody can write any kind of song. In my humble opinion, maybe that's why he was so happy, because he took all the sad stuff, that could have happened in his life, and he put them into songs. So everything else is okay. I don't know. I do find it a little more difficult at my stage in life to to write certain kind of songs. I mean, I couldn't write a song like a 20-something going through a bad relationship, or being living on the streets and stuff like that. So it is kind of difficult for me to write those deep kind of hurt kind of songs. I just can't. I don't have the story. I don't come up with it. So it's a little difficult. So the song about the Bainbridge Island, I knew about Bainbridge Island. I knew I was unhappy, and I've written a couple of other songs that mention Bainbridge Island and the things that happen here, because that's in my life,
right?
It's kind of pathetic, but the good news is everything's kind of calm up here, and I will say it's always nice to be living in a blue state. Just me, everybody's got their own thing. But yeah, I find generally that the words are the toughest part of the song. The tune comes, the chord progressions come, and then it's when it's time to come up with the story. God, I can sit there for weeks.
Yeah, and just briefly,
yes,
can you give me an idea of how much there's a distinction that I like to make, particularly to my guitar and vocal students, between performing, rehearsing, practicing, and just playing, as in playing around. How much playing around do you do on the guitar?
Yeah, lately I haven't been doing much, but you're absolutely right. A lot of people don't realize that, and so just recently, with the band, the little trio that I've been with for a couple of years, you learn all these songs, and you learn new songs, and when in our case, one of the members says, "Hey, for 6 months I'm going away to a warmer climate and coming back later." We started a new band, the bass player and I, and practicing. I'd forgotten how much time practicing songs, right? And you're right. There's a difference between practicing and rehearsing, because practicing you're doing on your own, and you better practice before you get together with the band to rehearse. A lot of people don't understand that. And so I've been doing a lot of that, and I haven't had a lot of time just to sit down and noodle on the guitar, which is a problem, because that's where songs come from. Right after dinner, get my guitar out and start playing. So sounds kind of cool. I haven't had a lot of time to do that, so I'm hoping that I can, free up some more time to do that. But you're absolutely right. And performing, I love to perform. I would rather. I like performing with other people to integrate harmonies and all kinds of other instrument stuff. I really love that. That is my first choice of things to do. So I don't complain about not having enough time because of playing out, but I don't have enough time because of practicing. That's my big issue.
And then there's always that ugly word, time management discipline.
Oh please.
I fight it every day. All right,
yeah.
Rich,
Hey.
we're gonna talk about that second guitar you played. I thought that thing sounded just dandy. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a great guitar. I like it too because the neck is a little wider than my Takamine that I normally play. So it's much easier to play, and it's got great action. And I actually capoed it on the second fret because personal issues with me making C chords these days. But this thing has such a low end. The one that I have has such a great low end to it, when it's not capoed up. I just love that full sound.
And by the way, I can explain to you what happened with the A minors.
I wish I knew.
All these rallies out there with all these sad protest songs, many of which use A minor chords. And I think the total supply of A minor chords may have been depleted recently. So, all right.
Thanks.
Good to see you again. I'll
All
see
right, man,
you in any number of ways here soon.
All right.
And here's Laura.
Bye.
And we are going to talk more about those dandy hybrid guitars, because in case you don't know, at OMA we actually have our very own Capo Dave, who is the creator of the dandy hybrid guitar. And the fun thing about being on the show is that everyone who's on the show, both performers and volunteer hosts alike, gets a ticket in the fishbowl. And at the end of the year, there's an annual drawing for a free guitar, a free dandy hybrid guitar. And a dandy hybrid, as you saw Rich playing it, it's an acoustic guitar. It's unique in its design. It has that distinctive sound that's a higher volume than the regular flat top guitars. And I think Capo Dave can probably tell you a little bit more about what makes these guitars so fun and why we should all be excited about maybe winning one this year.
Thanks, Laura. We're going to be, OMA is giving away one of my dandy guitars on December 21st is the big drawing. Looking forward to putting a dandy in the hands of somebody that's one of our folks from Open Mic America. And I call them hybrid guitars, and there's a good reason for that. It's not hyperbole. I kind of came on this by accident. I built 41 of these guitars and kind of through an evolution of them. And a couple of the things that I was doing, the way I was building them, just turned out to be of great benefit. And the first and most important thing is that the soundboard of the guitar, this is a flat top guitar. This is a Martin D18. So-called flat top guitar is not flat. It's not flat. There's an arc here, and the arc is 30 feet. If you scribed an arc on the ground, that's the arc. This is a dome, actually. The dandy guitar has an arc of only 16 feet. So effectively, this soundboard that's like a satellite dish is double it's more than double the dish that the other one is. So that's a really big difference that it's not obvious when you look at it, And the other thing is, these guitars, the fingerboard does not make contact with the body. Think about it. With a strip of wood making contact to your sounding body, it's got to dampen sound, and it does. This guitar has put it together in such a way, with a bolt-on tenon neck, that all the strength is achieved right at the neck, and this does not have to be attached. And that's a pretty big thing. That changes the amount of volume that this guitar can push out. Well, you saw Rich play his, and there are recordings of folks that play them on the website. The other thing is, just briefly, the third thing that makes a big difference with these guitars is what's called 0 fret. There is no nut. There's a string guide behind a 0 fret. So in effect, the guitar always feels like it has a capo on. It's always as low, the action is always as low as it can be. So those are the big things that make these guitars work well. I'm building number 42 and number 43 right now. And here's a little eye candy for you. This is number 43. That's the top secret stuff there. If you tell, I'm going to have you killed. That's top secret bracing. Anyway, it's a lot of fun doing it. But the most fun I have is listening to these performers. What a pleasure it is to be around these people at these shows. I mean, I feel very lucky. So anyway, thanks performers, and thanks for everybody out there watching. I'll put it back to Laura. Wait a minute. Remove all spotlights here. Okay, here we go. Okay, Laura, all yours now.
Thank you, Dave. It is exciting to see the guitars as they become real. It's a fascinating thing, and it's even more fascinating to hear everybody play them and hear what kind of songs we've done. So I hope everybody got their mid-show stretch in, because we are back. We've got more singers, and it looks like our next one is ready. So we're going to travel all the way to Alameda, California, to hear from the elder singer, aka Steve Anderson. Take it away.
Okay, I think everything's working. So I just don't know how to introduce this. I'm just going to play it. A chord progression kind of wandered into my mind as a result of a chord progression that I played for other tunes, and then I had to make up words for it, and they proved to be, they got off to a strange start, and then they came to a strange ending, and I like to think that it's thought-provoking. It's short and sweet. I used to go out every night to a well-attended bar with a warm and fuzzy feeling where you could find someone appealing. She was a special one of those, a furtive glance and off she goes. Who she was, nobody knows. The wondering begins. Was she really that enchanting? Will she ever come again? Would I even recognize her? Still wondering, but then moves on, so must I. A lonely face appears nearby. By all accounts, quite worth a try. I'm wondering if I should give this one a try. Okay. Lonely face looked up and smiled at the one who had me so beguiled. The way they kissed was really wild, and the wondering became something new.
Right.
I love the chord progression.
Love it.
First thing that comes out of a befuddled brain. So the next thing on the agenda is a quiz. I'm gonna sing a song about a character, and you have to decide if you recognize who it's about. This shouldn't be too difficult. He got the power to seduce unhappy souls, spewing nonsense, using logic filled with holes. His charisma is satanic, right down to the core, causing fools to embrace what decent folk abhor. He promises all the things you want to hear, but what's promised never seems to appear. He says his rivals are the ones to blame, and he calls them out with stupid, childish names. He thinks he's awfully funny, and the ignorant agree. Bond that lies between them is a lack of empathy. His ego blithely tells him he's an entertaining clown, theatrically kicking helpless people when they're down. Hating strangers, now that's a trick he's pulled on you. Now you're angry and you don't know what to do. Your confusion lets him fix it, so you lose. He gets your money, wind up with the blues. Oblivious, they elected him to lead, unaware he doesn't offer any part of what they need. The Pied Piper and Hitler taught him well. Once you've gained control, your friends can go to hell. So beware of any man who sports a tie of red. The agenda he pursues should fill your hearts with dread. He pretends to be a hero, but he's a monster in disguise. His followers are blinded by being smothered by his lies. He's defiant, won't let the law get in his way. He's unrepentant, thinks his actions are okay. He's a traitor and lack of fights, in fact, a light of facts, you must admit. But as a leader of a nation, he's just a piece of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who could you be talking about? You didn't mention anything about orange dye. I have no idea.
I hope
It's a
that's not
mystery.
about Mike.
It's a mystery. Maybe Mike can suss it out.
As it happens, I can help with that. I listened to it very carefully while frantically typing into my reference source on History Channel, and the AI, given the lyrics that you used, Steve Anderson, came up with a 98% match to Benito Mussolini.
Well,
And it said, let me bring it up so I can read it. There's another guy that's more recent, but I don't want to say his name because then they'll delete me. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the first song first.
okay.
Let's hear a bit about the writing of that. Is that just right straight out of personal experience, or?
No, no. That's I'm 83 years old. I don't, I don't hang out in bars so much anymore. the
That's not what I heard, but go ahead.
the way it came about is I was noodling with chords that you're all familiar with for Doc Watson's Deep River Blues.
Deep River, yeah.
And I thought, well, let's see if I can carry this, down the neck a little bit and get some sort of progression that might be interesting. And I did, and I liked it. And then I thought, well, I should write a song about this. And each verse came as a surprise. There was no plan. They just happened. I got all done with it, and I said, well, that's not much of a song, but I like it. So I kind of let it go. I just, that's all there was to it.
All right. Second song is written with more intent, I take it.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote the first draft of that maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I'm not sure exactly. And I thought, I can never sing this. And then, things kept happening in the news, and I thought, well, it's getting to be time to sing this. So I got it out and did a few minor revisions. I rearranged a couple verses, resorted them, worked a little bit on the meter, and it's pretty close to the original. It's just kind of tidied up. But I wanted to paint the picture without naming the dog.
Yep. Well done. And I like stronger than way up there toward the love meter. Your handling of the 12 string in these things. When I was a kid, I got a record called 6 and 12 string guitar by a friend, well, it eventually was a friend, but a guy named Leo Kotke. And you evoke his unfettered frenzy that he throws at the 12 string to get that particular sound out of it, although you do it with a lighter touch that's much easier to hear with lyrics. So, for example, when he does Louise on the 12 string, it can sometimes be a little hard to hear the lyrics. I've heard that's from people who have been with me at live concerts, and they say, I couldn't hear the words because the guitar was so bang. You, on the other hand, play with lovely precision on the 12 string and stuff. Now, I know you haven't necessarily always been playing the guitar. How old is the 12 string in terms of your sort of tool chest musically?
Oh, I bought that in 1963.
Okay.
And played the hell out of it for a few years, and then children emerged. And
from the guitar?
No, there was a different
source.
Yeah, she was. Anyhow, The 12 string kind of went in the closet, and I didn't play it until I think 20, 20, 2017, 2018. I got it back out, and then the pandemic hit. I got it out about a year before the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, I thought, playing the 12 string like I did years ago is going to take a while, and I don't have a social life because of the pandemic, so I thought I should get a 6-string guitar, and I started doing everything on a 6-string guitar and kind of forgot about the 12 string, and every once in a while I get it out and I just love it. But I'm doing most of my work, most of my writing now on 6 strings, simply because it's easier.
Sure.
And the 12 string for energetic pieces is unbeatable. But for more sensitive types of pieces, it's a little bit cumbersome. It's a handful.
Yeah.
And of course, the 6 string I play with my bare fingers, and the 12 string I play with metal picks.
Metal picks, right? Yeah. So I have to ask you, that's kind of an interesting looking guitar over your left shoulder. What kind of guitar is that?
You're talking about my Dandy.
I am.
Yeah, it's lovely. That thing is, it's so unique. It's a beautiful instrument, and it drowns out everything else in the room. It's just, it's a good sounding guitar. I've gone more accustomed to a 12 fret neck, so I don't play it as often as I might, but it's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the props on the Dandy. I myself have been known to play a Dandy or two once in a while, and I love them too. And Steve, always appreciate your music. I am always so glad when I hear that I'm going to get to hear you on Open Mic America. I hope it'll be sometime soon again. But at the moment, I'm going to send us all back to Laura Bordowitz.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. That was a great set. And for anyone out there in YouTube land, if you're thinking, oh, I wish I could hear more of any of these performers, you're going to check out the Open Mic America website, because we have links to all of their specific websites, their social medias, whatever they have given to us, we give to you, and you will also find them in the description of the video that you're watching. But don't do that now, because we want you to stay here to listen to our next performer, coming to us from Boston, Massachusetts. It is Cowboy Bob Uvello taking the stage.
Hello there. Just have to turn my amplifier on and I'll be right with you.
Fantastic.
Okay, so the first song that I'm going to do is my failed attempt, in my opinion, to finally write a country song. I've been trying to write a country song forever. I've written a lot of Western music, and just to make sure this was that my quest could continue, I threw a little bridge in that is existential, so that it definitely cannot be a country song. But I gave it a shot. This is called Heart of Stone. Heart of stone can't be broken. Heart of stone is hard to hold. Tender words left unspoken. A heart of stone is hard and cold. The life he had planned slipped through his hands like a bottle. All his dreams, how he one can leave you, no one to say I don't believe you. Just the sound of birds in your own breathing. It's getting cold, the birds will be leaving. Life he had planned slipped through his hands like a bottle. All his dreams, how he knows life ain't what it seems. There was a time when friends were many. There was a time when smiles came easy. There was a time when the road seemed endless. There was a time, oh, that was a time. Heart of stone can't be broken. Heart of stone is hard to hold. Tender words left unspoken. Heart of stone is hard and cold. Heart of stone is hard and cold.
Very nice song.
Beautiful.
Very nice,
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. So I would have to say that my songwriting has taken a strange turn. All of you songwriters will probably agree that songs come in various ways. There are the ones that are, I call them a construct, and that's what that was. I set out to attempt to write a country song, and so I came up with a theme. And then there are the songs that are from inspiration, something that you're really passionate about. And then there are the ones that just come. They just come and they say, if you're not busy, I'd like you to write me. This is one of those. And I think we'll call it Push On Through. I have a hard time with song titles. They're always morphing, and then finally I decide on something, and I think that I'm going to stick with Push On Through for this one. I don't like you anymore, that's what she said. I don't like myself all that much, that's what he said. So take your best shot, give it all you got. In a while it won't matter what it is or what it's not. Not. Won't matter what it is or not. Well, if I didn't have regrets, I'd have nothing at all. That's what he said. I got no one left to call, how it is, that's all. That's what he said. No matter much at all, comes a time we all fall down, down, down. comes a time when I'll fall down. Not how I thought it would be. That's what she said. That's more about you than about me. That's what he said. Can't make me happy, that's up to you. No matter all that much, comes a time when it's all through. Comes a time when it's all through. Got no chorus to lift your spirits high. Got no bridge that takes you to the other side. No words of wisdom, no shining truth. If you think you do, well, show me some proof. I don't like you anymore, that's what she said. I don't like myself all that much, that's what he said. So take your best shot, give it all you got. In a while, won't matter what it is or what it's not. Won't matter what it is or not. Still we find a way to push on through. Yeah, we find a way, and we push on through.
Hey.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, Mike. Ask him things.
I will. I'm going to start. What are you playing there?
The Taylor.
That's the T5?
T5C, yeah.
Yeah. Nice axe, man. All right. So, are you wearing cowboy boots?
Oh, man, I gotta tell you, you don't know what a fantastic question. That I just cannot believe you asked me that question. Because do you remember there was an old, very old show on television years ago called I've Got a Secret?
Yep.
I've got a secret. I'm in stocking feet.
All right. Well, then what I was going to say was that first song, you know, your boots were firmly planted in good old country music, and that one, man, that was, you know.
You think so? Yeah.
Really reminiscent of all the great Charlies and all the great Hanks and all those guys in there. That's just a square-shouldered, strong country song. Beautiful. Tell me about writing that one.
Thank you. So I'm sorry. What was that?
So tell me about writing that one.
Well, like I said, I've really wanted to write a country song. I remember back in the days it was called country western, and that really was, I guess there was some accuracy to it, but there is a genre of music that's western music, and it's quite different. And a lot of my songs really do fall into that genre.
Yes. Yes.
But as far as a country song, that was it was elusive. I kept trying and just not, in my opinion, not nailing it. I'd play it for a friend, and they'd say, "Yeah, but that's a Bob Uvello song. It's not a country song." And I'd say, "Yeah, well, that's
Nothing wrong with that.
so it's there is some truth to that, but so yeah, I just wanted to write a country song, and I didn't want to have pickup trucks or in there or dogs. I wanted it to be a little more dignified, if you will. So that's all
Right.
that was.
Yeah. Well, it's a great song. I had a relative, my birth father's sister, my aunt. She had a tavern that's kind of well known in the state of Kansas, in Weir, Kansas. And I wrote a song about this thing she had on the wall that sold you beer that had the sky blue waters, with the fake water. That fascinated me when I was a child. But I remember it also had a sign that says, "We have, over the jukebox says, we have both kinds of music here, country and western." You know. But that one's, I think, definitely country. That's really great. Second song, you're right. That is a bit of a departure for you, particularly in the very definite use of that particular T5. Now, I have previously owned a T5 instrument, and I'm aware it is really flexible guitar. You can get 101 sounds out of that thing. How much work went into selecting, first using that guitar to write it on, if you wrote it on it, and then performing with it, and then how did you, what are you working on in the way that it sounds? How are you using it?
Well, I guess there are several things there. I came by the T5. In fact, I have a couple of them now. I guess I'd sort of say by out of necessity. I've got a wonderful collection of Gibson guitars, some of them quite old, and I was having shoulder issues. And they're big guitars. In fact, I tried to buy a small one, and through pure ignorance, I bought a guitar that was a smaller body when you looked at it, but it was deeper than any of the others. It's a Nick Lucas. It's a very
Yeah.
deep guitar. But anyway, I was having shoulder issues, and I thought, well, let me give one of these slim, kind of hybrid electric
Yeah, acoustic
guitars,
electric, they call them.
acoustic electric guitars, and I have just fallen in love with the guitar. I truly love it. It's no longer a default, or it is my default guitar. It's no longer a consolation prize, if you will. I just love them, and you're right. You can just get so many sounds out of them, and I find myself playing with sound more. Not notes necessarily, but playing with effects, maybe that's the word, and incorporating the effects into the music.
And some of what you're doing there, I play a little guitar myself, and is right-hand technique. You're using a different right-hand technique on that guitar in the two songs that you did there. Yes, you're using that. I so use the flip switch to get the different configuration on the pickups, and that's great and all that. But your right hand is using, I think, if I'm correct, you're using a lot of more of what are called rest strokes, where you have the pick on the string before you begin the stroke, right? How did you come across that, or was that just a thing you already knew and you were intentional about it?
Again, another astute question. The one about the boots, of course. It was like I set you up for that one as my straight man, so I do my reveal. But
Born
anyway,
to be a straight man. Yeah.
yeah, I've been playing guitar for a long, long time, and for most of the time I played, I think I had more of a left-hand focus, And then it got to the point where, not to tell you my whole life story, but it got to the point where I was having difficulty in physically holding a pick. If I maintained a death grip on it, I could hold it, but then I didn't have the mobility in my wrist. And if I didn't do that, then I was dropping them in the sound hole, and I just couldn't hold on to them. And so I just stopped using them. And because of that, it required or enabled me, I guess, to come up, to really focus on right-hand techniques. And a lot of little, I think in Spanish music they're called rasgueados.
Rasgueado, yeah.
Just, and pronunciation's probably completely off. But anyway, so anyway, that's I have been concentrating a lot on right-hand technique.
All right, cool. So I'm going to hold a pick up to the camera here real close for everybody to see. This pick is, as you can see, it's fairly thick, but don't be afraid of it. It's quite pointy, although you can play it with the shoulders as well. And on one side, you can see there's a divot, right? You can see the depression. Mm-hmm. On the opposite side, rewarding proper pick holding technique is a groove that's cut in on the opposite side, and these things are very easy not to drop.
Interesting.
And if you want one, it's made out of water buffalo horn, renewable resource.
I would have guessed that.
And if you contact Keith Holland like the country, and Keith Keith Urban or whatever, Keith Holland Guitars in California, in Los Gatos, California, they'll sell you one of these. I love these things, and they work really well on dandy guitars, as it happens too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the tip.
Yeah, no problem. That's a tip for everybody. But wonderful stuff. I look forward to the next time I hear you, and I'm glad to hear you're continuing to grow and move and change in what you're writing. Great stuff tonight. Thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.
Laura?
Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you, Bob. Those were some wonderful songs. And this kind of conversation is exactly what we love to have at Open Mic America, hearing that back and forth, the little tips and tricks that other singer-songwriters might not know or maybe know, and those of us who aren't super into the songwriting themselves gets a little bit of an insight into how people do it. But for now, we're going to get an insight into someone else. We're traveling across the country to San Jose, California, to hear from Cap Wilhelm Safian. And he actually is looking for a new home base for open mics because his favorite haunts don't have them at the moment. But he said the Free Will Brewing Company in Redwood City is very welcoming, has a great sound and a great community vibe. So maybe you'll catch him there. But tonight, you're catching him here. So Cap, it's all you.
Hi, folks. I'm in my stocking feet, too. And sorry about my background. I cannot turn that off for some reason. So let's just focus on the music. So I've been playing a lot of the No Kings rallies since they started. And a lot of people writing songs about No Kings. But I try to keep in mind this idea of there's going to be a last day of all of this. So I try to imagine what that would be like. And this song is called The Last Day of the King.
Oh, hang on a second, Cap. It seems like your original sound might be off at the moment.
You're right. It went off. Interesting. Oh, good catch.
That Zoom is so tricky.
It sounds hellacious when it's not on. I've heard recording. How about now?
There we go.
There we go. There we go. All right. Anthems echo down the barricades as the bells of freedom ring, and hope once more is waking on the last day of the king. All along the roads the fires glow as the rubber dreams of spring, and the tender shoots reach upward on the last day Lady Justice freed from exile, in her hands the law she brings, and the scales once more are balanced on the last day of the king, and the prison doors fly open, wide open now they swing, and the innocent walk free today on the last day of the king, and the innocent walk free today on the last day of the king. All the acolytes turn traitor, and to their hate no longer cling, and the fever dream has broken on the last day of the king. Every last gun is now silent, every arrow, every sling, and the soldiers all march home again on the last day of the king, and the soldiers all march home again on the last day of the king. And the spirits of the fallen, they all rise up now to sing such a mournful hallelujah on the last day of the king. And a gentle wind is blowing as our darkest fears take wing, and the work now lays before us day of the king, and the work now lays before us on the last day of the king.
Ah, very good.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Sounds very birdish. Sounds
Oh,
like a
that's
bird.
thank you. I take that as a high compliment.
Oh, it's meant as a high compliment.
Boy, this is such a bizarre thing to see myself in this. I'm going to push the computer back and see if that helps at all. No, not really. But I
I
have
think
my
you
open
need to
mic
get
up
closer
there.
to it. If you
Well,
get closer to
closer?
the camera.
Closer. Let's see if that works. I'll pull it forward. I got a big head. It doesn't fit the screen. All right. So this next song, against my better judgment, I wrote this. It's been writing itself every darn morning, and I think I finished at least the first draft. So I thought, what the hell? This song is called, and I thought of I have a friend who lives in Point of Rocks, Wyoming, and he has a little bar there and a gas station and a bunch of other stuff. And originally this was going to kind of be like a novelty country tune, but it got serious. And then I pictured him pointing at a sign that said, "We don't let no fascists in this bar," and that's the song. It's a country song too. We don't let no fascists in this bar. So if you're so inclined, better head right back to your car. You better listen careful, son, because these colors never run. And we don't let no fascists in this bar. Grandpa stopped the Nazis at our dance. He paid there for our freedom with 20,000 other men. And if those bastards show up here, you know we'll stop them once again. 'Cause 'cause Grandpa stopped the Nazis at our dam. We don't need no guard troops in this town. We don't want no ice goons working for that fascist clown. If you can respect the Constitution, expect a little revolution. 'Cause we don't want no guard troops in this town. We don't let no fascists in this bar. So if you're so inclined, you'd best head right back to your car. You better listen careful, son, because these colors never run. And we don't let no fascists in this bar.
Yeah.
You're the first humans to hear that. The cat heard it earlier.
That's awesome.
The cat had no opinion.
All right, Mike, one more interview for tonight. Let's do it.
Well, we got one more person after me.
Oh, that's right. We've got one more.
It's okay.
So excited.
Well, I thought maybe Hannah had requested that I not interview her.
With all your tough questions.
I was going to give you an early night, Mike.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think I need that.
I'm going to try not.
Cap
no
Willem
way.
Sapian, we've known each other for some time.
Sometime.
You've been wonderful for some time.
Well, thank you, my brother.
But I got to say, I like both of those songs. I heard the first one when we both were performing on the stage together not too long ago. And I really like the second one. But is this your first time on Open Mic America?
This is about my 6th time.
About your 6th, I thought.
I think
okay.
you interviewed me last time, I think.
Yeah, I did. I thought I remember that. I'm really old.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. The thing I occasionally like to do with people is just turn them loose. You tell us what's important about the writing of those songs. What's important about it to you, and what's important about it to us?
Well, since the election, they've just been bubbling up. I think it's my way to deal with it all. Frankly, it's a way to process it and push back. I think every citizen needs to speak up, and this is my best tool for doing that. So that's, and I really have very little conscious control over it, other than every once in a while I'll think of a line. But I wake up in the morning with a couple more lines typically, and I just write them down, and I'll be washing the dishes, and I'll write another couple down, and they just insinuate themselves into my day. If I'm lucky, it turned off for a couple weeks. That scared me, but I'm good now. I'm back.
All right. So, would the word cathartic be appropriate?
I think so. On my blue sky, I described them as life preservers for the Trumpocalypse. That's what I'm out there making. I'm just trying to say, how do we get beyond this? What would I want to hear someone else sing? And it's for me too. It's just my way of making sense of it all.
Yeah. So another slightly self-centered comment. The first song impressed me when I heard it the first time, and it inspired me to copy your primary theme in it of a song that's about the bad things that are going on, but that is hopeful.
Yeah.
You know, so I eventually here, I think I play here again sometime at before this time next year. I'm gonna whip that thing out and play it. I'll let you know.
Oh, cool.
And I'll give you credit for inspiration when I do it.
That's great.
Cap Willem Sapian did not play today at the No Kings rally, but I have now seen a almost 3-second long chunk of video of him acting as the MC from the stage for the San Jose rally. He comes from one of the great traditions, both for songwriters and for politically face-forward people, and that is, how many years did you teach?
30 years. 30 years.
And what ages did you teach?
Middle school, so I get an automatic Nobel Prize.
Yeah, he gets a Nobel Prize.
I love them, but they're also horrible human beings.
How much comes out of those classrooms? How much of what you do?
Well, so it's just I taught U.S. history, and I also taught English, and I did an extensive unit on the Holocaust and the decline of Nazi Germany. So I teach about it. I contextualized it. So seeing all this coming since 2016 and having students that were affected by Trump's election, it took the academic and it really put everything, as my students were in the crosshairs, it lent it urgency in a way. It was no longer academic. I was teaching about impeachment as the impeachment was going on. I was teaching about the election as January 6th happened online with students. So all of those wires get crossed and they come out as songs. So that's I was telling somebody I want to write a song about nothing. That's my goal, is, you know, oh baby, because I feel like it could be a little overwhelming. People don't want homework. I really appreciate all your ears tonight, because you go to open mics and, you know, you got to be careful what you play. And I got a sense that the door was wide open to this stuff, and I appreciate that, you know, really do.
Yeah. You know, my friend Greg says there's no old baby in folk music stuff, you know.
Oh, my darling,
be careful with what you wish for. You might get a whole string of those. You know?
Yep.
All right.
See
you sometime again soon, I hope,
Yep.
In person, as well as hoping to see you again here. Ladies and gentlemen, Cap Willem Safian.
Thank you so much, Cap. And as Cap said, we do have one more performer tonight, and the show is not over. We've got one more, and if you remember, we actually started in a Burlington, but that was Burlington, Vermont, and now we're going to Burlington, Massachusetts, to hear from Anne Sandstrom, and she plays at the North Reading Community Coffee House, which is in North Reading, Massachusetts. So Anne, take it away.
Unmute. Thank you so much. I'm tapped out, battling the blues, tallying the body count on the evening news. I've been scraping the meager marrow from my days, living in this cold and empty space.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Love it.
So much. Well, given everything that's happened this weekend, and I was, as I said before we started, I was at the protest in Lexington, Massachusetts, on the Battle Green, which was kind of intense. But I've been protesting every week faithfully outside of an ICE facility that is notorious here in Burlington. And I wrote this song over 30 years ago, and it means more now than ever. It's historical, about the Bread and Roses strike in Lawrence, Massachusetts. This is called Roses in the Snow. I card the wool to make it clean. Been at this mill since I was 14. My father bought papers that state my age. I've been working here since that day. I am marching in the dark, soaked by fire hoses, and I am singing in the snow for bread and roses. This morning I walked to work in the snow, watched by the black mill windows. They watch what we do, so we watch what we say. For the water we drink, they take our pay. We are marching in the dark, soaked by fire hoses, and we are singing in the snow for bread and roses. There's women that don't speak the language like me. There's women with 5 and 6 mouths to feed. They work the long days, they don't much complain. Get up each day just to start in again. We are marching in the dark, soaked by fire hoses, and we are singing in the snow for bread and roses. So wrapped up in shawls to ward off the cold, I take my sign and step out the door. I carry these words like a candle of hope, like the flame you find in a single red rose. I am marching in the dark, soaked by fire hoses, and I am singing in the snow for bread and roses.
love the lyrics in that one. It's good. All right, Mike. Now this is it. This is your interview.
As far as you know, but is it? Okay. Anne Sandstrom, I must admit, this is, I think, the 7th time, if I'm correct, that I've interviewed you.
Something like that.
And
you poor
we've
thing.
we've talked about a lot of things. And I always, I don't want you to think it's not like a sense of dread, but there's a sense of, I need to find another way to approach, what we've talked about. So what I would like to do today is to talk about tradition. I'd like to talk about the folk tradition. I particularly like to talk about the folk tradition as it comes to us from, say, the late 1920s on through things, some that are not talked about it, like the resistance to World War II, which had its singers and people who did that, who were much forgotten because that was a good war. And all the way through the 50s, the protests among artists and musicians against Vietnam came before we were ever involved, and they protested against the French, and that kind of thing. So this is this long tradition, and in this long tradition, there are many giants of it, Seeger, and all of his ilk, and all that kind of thing too. And it's one of the places where female musicians are allowed to be serious musicians and serious people. Mm-hmm. And you are both a serious musician and a serious person. And I have compared you previously, partly because of vocal technique, to Joni Mitchell. But tonight I heard two other giants that I think, I'm not comparing you in a, I'm evaluating you kind of, what I'm saying is I think you're standing, you're crossing the stream, using some of the same rocks they did to cross this stream of this old truth that you're singing about. And I'd like to respond to these two typifications however you would like. And the first one is to Carole King.
Oh,
the first song evoked Carole King to me. What do you think?
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that, because I mean, that song, I purposefully wanted to do something that had a slightly Eastern, Middle Eastern feel to it. But now, but what I've done melodically is I could see an influence, or at least a similarity to Carole King's approach to melody. Yeah.
And do you think of her when you think of people in the folk tradition?
No, I don't. I think of her as more of a descendant of Tin Pan Alley, but a more I don't want sophisticated, but a more modern, a more cerebral, if you will, approach.
And that's one of the things that I find in your music, is you don't hide at all. There's nothing apologetic about your cerebration that you do in your songs. You bring it right to the forefront. You use an educated person's language. You use a very well-disciplined approach to playing the guitar. It's very charming, but it's also very, very much rooted in classicism in a lot of ways. And I found that song, the continuous rolling fingerstyle stuff, is something that I once heard guitarists being compared by a very good guitarist. I don't know if you know him. His name was James Taylor. He was at a concert at a place in LA called the Troubadour, and he compared. He said, I steal the piano licks from Carole King all the time. And that was another thing in what you were doing that I heard. That same sort of rolling piano kind of part. There's something. The musical term is ostinato, but there's something sort of inevitable about music when it falls into that. And then, so that was one of the things. All fair enough, you think?
I think so. And yeah,
My second comparison, which the second song brought out, there is no question that this person has been for many, many years at the heart of the of the folk music. And tonight, I thought I heard you channeling a little bit of Joan Baez.
well, what's interesting, um, I was saying this the other day to somebody that I admired and learned a lot from Joni, and lyrically, she allowed lyrics to be intelligent and to use broader language and more erudite language. But I suspect that in person, the person that I would want to spend time with is Joan Baez.
Is Joan Baez?
Is Joan Baez,
Yeah.
and I have always admired her so much. She is someone who has stuck to her moral ground and has never ceded that. And her music personifies that.
And I think yours does too.
Well, it's interesting because I hadn't done that song, performed that song, since I started protesting every week. And I've got to say that the last verse, I step out the door, wrapped up in shawls, I step out the door. I carry my sign as a candle of hope. I have a sign that I use all the time. And we're kind of all known. The protest that I go to, when I first started almost 6 months ago, there were 20 of us. And now there are over 700 every week. But we all know each other by our signs. We might wear different clothes, but mine is just evict ICE. So I'm evict ICE. That's who I am. And I have had so many people stop me and ask me all kinds of questions, thinking that I know something more than the average person even protesting there, which in fact I do, because I live in this town. I live in Burlington. And this is just an absolute stain on not just the country, not just the state. This is my home. And so I know a lot. But it's interesting to, again, making a sign that is succinct and gets people talking. And
what does your sign say? I may have missed it.
It says evict ICE.
Ah, yes.
We're trying to, they're violating all kinds of codes, zoning, health codes. I mean, and looking at it from that point of view, the town has tried to get in there for inspections to say, can't do it. They won't let them in. So I being in the town, going to, the town meetings and so forth, I'm privy to what's going on and all. But it goes back to, it's not unrelated to songwriting, where you have to choose just the right words. You have so little time to convey so much. And I feel like even my sign is very carefully selected.
Yeah. He's a drugstore truck driving man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anne, thank you very much for the songs, and thank you very much for the wonderful answers. And we will no doubt meet again in a similar relationship on this screen.
Yep.
Good to see you. Take care.
Great to see you, Mike. Take
that's
care.
it for my interviewing tonight.
Fantastic job, Mike, and thank you so much, Anne, for those wonderful songs. It is indeed the DNA of American music to use your songs for the things that you care about and that make your heart feel the most that it can feel. And I just want to thank all of our performers for such a wonderful show tonight. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Gillis. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Cap. And thank you, Anne. It has been a fantastic show tonight. I can only really speak for myself, but this was definitely a night where I just felt like I was lost in the music, and it was fantastic. And of course, thank you to my fellow crew members who made this show happen tonight. Thank you, Mike, for those insightful interviews. interviews. Thank you, Capo Dave, for not only founding Open Mic America, but making sure that all of the technical things ran smoothly tonight. We couldn't have done it without you. And of course, a big thank you to everyone out there who is watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to check out our website. That's openmicamerica.com. That will have links to all of the music for our performers, both tonight and in past shows. You can also find the archives to our past shows, so you can watch any music that you want to again. If you liked the show tonight, please don't keep it a secret. Spread the word. Use social media. Use word of mouth. Print out a poster. You can go to the green room section of our website to print out those posters, or order a t-shirt just like the one that Cap is wearing. You can rep Open Mic America and tell everyone what a great show it is. But the important part, if you do nothing else, please check out your local open mics. We will link all of the ones that we mentioned tonight on our website. That will be under the local open mics tab, and I can guarantee you that there is an open mic in your town, wherever it is that you live. But no matter what, you can always come back here on the first and third Sundays of every month. Open Mic America will be back on November 2nd. Stay tuned for the full lineup. It will be posted, you guessed it, on our website. That is openmicamerica.com. So we will see you then. But for now, we'll wave goodbye and we'll see you next time. Good night, America!
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.